series, what went wrong, what we can do better, how I can improve.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Hope y'all doing good out there. I'm doing great. I know the Knicks haven't been fantastic, but that's okay because you know what? We're here. We're still fans. I mean, still Knick fans. We're still in love with our team. We still like them. We're not sure what we like. We don't know. Okay, guys, don't worry about it. We're going to figure it out because it's time for us to get back to the nitty gritty. I was a little confused for a second because you know what? I don't know what Knick team I'm seeing. One day they're good. One day they're bad. One day they're good. One day they... So you know what? I'm just questioning things, but it's going to be okay. Anyway, John, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Feeling all those same emotions, man.
Yeah, it's been a wild
Who
time,
are
man. We're gonna
we?
get through it. Who are we? I mean, we are still Knicks fans, even though I don't know if the Knicks are still the Knicks. So that's the bigger question. But it's okay. We're gonna get through it.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. But before we go any further, once again, I want to let you guys know that this podcast is sponsored by Urban Cowboy. Urban Cowboy. Tonight's podcast is one of those that I don't think it's going to be that crazy for you guys, but I think you're going to like it. And what better way to do it than having Urban Cowboy be the focal point of what we got going on? I mean, they are designed for the lived experience. Urban Cowboy clothing, uniquely designed for every urban trendsetter, both young and mature.
Very nice. Very nice.
John, I know
Yes,
you're
sir.
not ready, but I'm going to hit you with something new.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to hit you with something new, John.
What do you
Listen,
got
you
up your
know,
sleeve, man?
I've had the crack team, you know, working on some things. And look, we're not happy about what's been going on with the prediction part of this show. I've been struggling a little bit, and the only way for me to get any type of, vindication here
Get back.
is to be able to. Yeah, I gotta put you under the pressure, man. I gotta get you in some type of way, and now it's time. I finally figured it out. So I don't know if you're ready for this, buddy, but we're gonna introduce something new. New segment to the Still Knick Fans podcast. It's called the 24-second trivia. And
Okay.
this is going to be we're gonna give you a shot to take a look at a 2-minute video thereabouts. And I want you to pay attention to that video, guys. You guys at home can play along. Even though this is for John right now, we gotta test his wits. I want you to take a look at this video, right? Pay attention to everything that's going on. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You're going to have 24 seconds to get your answers out, and hopefully they're right. I mean, in my case, I hope they're wrong. But whatever. You know, I didn't say anything. Don't worry about it.
24 seconds. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You got plenty of time, buddy. I wouldn't even worry about it. So, are you ready? You sure? I love it.
I don't think I got a choice anymore.
See, guys, this is get him back. He was feeling himself. He was trying to high and mighty on me. Nah, B. Let's see what you really about.
All right, cool.
All right.
Let's roll.
Let's get it cracking, Jose. Pay attention closely.
Okay. That's crazy. Okay.
How do
You're
you
gonna
feel
remember
about it? You
this a
feel
lot more vividly than I would, because you was at the game.
you feel comfortable?
No, but let's go with it.
I mean, the good thing about it is that I'm going to tailor the questions slightly different because I realize there's certain elements that you can't see. So,
Okay.
like, you can't see the actual game score. So I have to kind of
Mm-hmm.
twist things around a little bit. So,
All right.
okay.
So 24 seconds. All
Are
right.
you ready?
I'm ready.
We got that clock ready. All right,
He's putting that pressure.
here we go. And go. Who scored the first basket in the video?
Oh man. Julius Randle.
Who hit the game tying shot on the Celtics to send the game into overtime?
Jaylen Brown.
Who was the blonde celebrity sitting next to Tracy Morgan?
I have no idea. That was hella hard.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's horrible.
I love it.
You showed me 8 minutes of a clip
yes.
and gave me two. Oh man.
I love it.
You
Let's
foul,
go.
bro. You foul.
All right. Look.
8 minutes and you gave me
Look.
2 questions somewhere in the middle.
All right. You know what? I'll do this again for you. Okay? Can we watch the video one more time? I'm gonna ask you different questions. I'm gonna give you one more shot because you know what? I love to tell you what your score is, but I think you know what it is. So I want to give you one more shot. Can we play the video one more time, Jose?
Oh man. And this is why I didn't become a detective. Can't remember anything. And that's Jaylen Brown. So did I get that right? Was that the tie? Julius Randle hit the first shot of ours. I got it. I'm 2-4. No? He's the first person to hit a shot. Oh, that's smart. Go to OT. I don't know who that lady is. Jason Tatum. Oh, that was the end one. Fournier for 3. There's so much going on there.
It's so much going on. And
there.
it's less than 2 minutes of video. So much happened there.
So much going on.
Let's go. So,
It's
do you
unfair.
feel better this time around? Now that you have a better idea
Maybe.
of the types of questions you're going to get asked?
Yeah, I'm still not confident though.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay.
All right, let's rock. Let's go.
All right, he's ready, Jose. I'm going to start the first question in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jason Tatum to the corner and missed the mid-range jumper. Who was guarding him?
Oh, come on. Barrett?
Who was the Celtic player that got an and one in the second overtime?
Oh, Jason Tatum.
Which Knicks player hit a three-point shot to give the Knicks the lead in the double overtime?
Fournier.
Hey, let's do a redo.
Is the shot clock over? Shot clock over? I think it is.
No, let's do a redo. There was a technical difficulties. So let's give him a chance.
We had a glitch, guys. We had a glitch.
Oh,
Damn
yeah.
it.
I get another chance.
But we're not going to watch the video
Damn it.
again, though. You're not going to watch the video.
No,
Ask
you're
me
not
the
going to
same
see
questions.
the video again. No, now I'm going to give you something a little different. I'm going to mix them up now.
Come on. That was 2 for 2.
Come on, son. Let me know when we're ready, Jose.
Count me in, and I'm ready to go.
All right. Going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who was the blonde sitting next to Tracy Morgan?
I don't know.
All right. Who was the second and one in the second overtime?
Who hit a what?
Who got
Second
an
overtime,
and one
Tatum?
in the second overtime?
Tatum.
Who scored the last basket in the video?
Oh, I don't know. Rose.
Hold on 1 second. He said Derrick Rose, but the 24-second clock had elapsed. Is that going to be okay? They said no. Sorry. I apologize. I really wanted the for you. Yeah, they weren't with it, so I apologize. So
Terrible.
in your 3 rounds of this, basically,
I got one right.
who scored the first basket in the video? The answer was Evan Fournier. It's really quick. He gets the inbound pass and he goes right to the rim for a layup.
I didn't even
Who hit
catch
the
that. I only
game-tying
caught
shot
Randall.
on the Celtics to send the game into overtime? You eventually got that, but that was a different round. Sorry, didn't count. That was
Right.
Marcus
Didn't
Smart. You
count.
said that. Who was
After
the
the fact.
celebrity sitting next to Tracy Morgan? That was Iggy Azalea.
Listen, don't know.
Uh, hey, well, a lot of people don't know her anymore. Jason Tatum dribbled to the corner and missed the mid-range jumper. Who was guarding him? You got that right. You said RJ Barrett. Who was a Celtic player that got an and one in the second overtime? You got that right. It was Jason Tatum. Which Knicks player hit a three-point shot to give the Knicks the lead in the double overtime? That was
Fournier.
Evan Fournier. And who scored the last basket in the video? That was Derrick Rose. But, of course, you said that after the buzzer. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, you would have really did great had we given you like 72 seconds. You would have been fantastic.
You foul.
Anyway, yeah, guys. So stay tuned for that segment.
With a brother like this, who needs an enemy?
And that's a fact. Stay tuned for this new segment. We're gonna get it, better and maybe do it to a little bit more graphical next time around. But we're just throwing it out there, seeing how it looks, seeing how it works. Try to make it better and more exciting, and continue to stump John or whoever else comes on the show. But definitely stumping John is my main focus.
That's key. Yeah. That's number one.
Right? that's like, without that, like, why are we here? You know what I mean? Anyway, bro. So that was fun. That was fun. This Nick week was an interesting one, to say the least. We had a nice set of games that took place, and we deemed these to be winnable games, and most Knicks fans would agree. So let's start off with the first game, and that was the Knicks versus the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, this was a tough one, right?
This one was definitely a tough one, dude. I don't know how you felt about it, but I'm going to find out in a minute. I was not feeling good about this game at all. I thought we were going to win the game, especially after the fact that we just lost to them. This is a revenge game for us. But overall, we played incredibly sloppy. It was just bad basketball. I tell you, when the game was all said and done and we lost, I was feeling horrible. Like, it put me in a bad mood. I don't like watching a game and it puts me so but there was that went wrong in this game, man. What do you think about what you saw out there?
The same, man. I mean, we came out of a game with the Pacers where we played pretty good defensively. Offensively, we've been struggling. But it seemed to me, oh, look at Becky G in the house. So we gotta clip that one.
Oops.
So we were watching we seen us play against the Pacers, and we played good defensively, but we didn't play strong offensively. Like, we still struggled offensively, and it's sort of, we took that same we took that sort of shooting streak, the poor shooting streak with us against the Magic, and it seemed like there were times that we got our coach, we got our play. They brought in a lot more energy than we did to start the game. We shot so inconsistently. We failed to meet our reads defensively, and so it was just sort of lackluster. And then again, we were up against a team who, you sort of, I don't know, weirdly enough, had our number. We had Terrence Ross, got into his bag, and of course he plays as well all the time. And so he has become a Knick killer at this point, and you can deem him so. I mean, there was really nothing else to say about this. I think the only individual that played well was, I want to say, maybe Quick in this game. Was it one of these games that Quick played well in?
Yeah, Quick was good in this
But
game.
yeah, but that's was pretty much it, man. We didn't really have a lot going on. Maybe Quick and Toppin, and I think there was a quick poll, right, of Toppin at some point, and people were not happy about it, and he went to Randall, and it sort of cost us. But again, I mean, this is one of those games you got to learn from. It seems like our team is still adjusting, still trying to find its rhythm as a cohesive unit. We haven't gotten there yet, and this was a game that I thought we have in the bag, but it turns out we didn't. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, I agree. This one was this was a tough one. It was a tough pill to swallow. I chalk it up to just poor execution. Like Orlando played a very solid game of basketball. They did pretty much all the little things you need to do in order to win the game. I think that in contrast, Tibbs he didn't make the proper adjustments, and but sometimes I don't necessarily know if it's the adjustments during the game so much as the game plan for the team you're playing. Like the overall game plan sometimes is not right. Then there was a point in this game where he went super small ball. Randall was the center, and he came in with four guards. We had Burks quickly. I think it was Burks quickly, RJ, and Rose.
Right.
And that next play down, Wagner took the ball straight to the hoop and dunked on RJ. Like, I mean, like it's just smart basketball. As soon as they saw that, they said, you know what? Oh man, Mouse is in the house. Let's go. It's just like, that's the type of things you got to do that stuff. And it seems like Orlando's been pretty good at trying to focus on the little things. I think that's a testament to their coach. He understands that, hey, they may not be the most talented, but let's try to play the most fundamentally sound basketball we can in order to give us a chance to win these games. And just a side note, you can see it because the next game they played the Brooklyn Nets and they lost to the Brooklyn Nets 105-103. I mean, so they were right in that game against Brooklyn. So they're playing good basketball, even if they don't have necessarily the good talent in order to succeed and win these games. But it worked against us because we're playing bad.
Yeah, I mean they're also really young, right? Don't they have the youngest team, youngest starting five in the league right now? I think the oldest player is 23 with Mobamba, right?
Are they the youngest? They might be, because they might be a little
Yeah.
younger than Detroit. Right?
Yeah, so I think they got the youngest team on, and they play. I mean, the one thing they got going for them is that they have a lot of athletic bodies, right? Athletic, tall bodies on that team, right? The Franz brothers,
Right.
very athletic. Mobamba as a center is very athletic. They just got a nice, group of players who, they may not be the ultimate talent in the world, but they have enough talent to play against any team in the NBA. Unfortunately for us, we weren't taking advantage of their weaknesses on the court, and again, we've just been in a horrible shooting streak. I mean, if we hit a better percentage from the 3-point range and we hit our foul shots, we win that game. We just haven't been on all cylinders, and unfortunately for us, RJ's been shooting horribly the last 4 to 5 games, and he hasn't gotten out of the slump. Randall was in his slump at that moment as well. And so those are two players that we lean on to pack a punch in scoring. And we got some numbers from Kemba that game. We didn't really get anything from Evan either. And so it's an interesting dynamic we're running against. We're just up against the wall when it comes to like our offensive struggles, and we got to work through it. I think at this point we just got to hope that things start to find themselves. Every player starts to find their groove. But as of right now, we're falling short of what we expected offensively. However, defensively, we're starting to show up. So we'll see if that helps.
Yeah, no. I think in the last 5 games we've been playing much better team defense. It's just like there's one good thing happening, there's like another bad thing happening. We're playing
Right.
good defense, now we can't score. I mean, we can't buy a basket. So I mean, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. And another thing that's really come back to hurt us, I think. And mind you, this is not a big disparity, but it is a disparity nonetheless when you look at what's going on around the league and the type of competition we're playing. The Knicks are shooting 76% from the free throw line,
Yeah,
which
it's
is not
horrible.
great. It's not great. But you know
It's
what? Last year we shot 78.5 or something like that, so almost 79%, which is not
Oh,
that
really?
much better. Yeah, but you'd be surprised at you know the difference because some guys were better shooters. So, and those guys got to get to the line more frequently. So now we're shooting poorly as a team, and the worst free throws, the guys who are worse at free throw shooting have been getting more opportunities. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's the wrong guys at the line. You know what I mean?
Which is interesting
Yeah,
because I think Randall shot it better last year from the free throw line than he is
he
this
did.
year.
He did.
I think
He
that's
did.
the
Even
biggest
but
one.
his number has gone down, but then like Mitch, his number has gone down slightly. I mean, he's not been the greatest, but he's been poor. Uh, RJ's been poor, really bad at
Yeah.
the line this year. And last year was a big improvement for him. He actually raised his level pretty
Right.
well. So I mean, like these things are happening, and it's really hurting the Knicks. Um,
Yeah.
but
Bad timing.
all in all,
Bad
it was
timing so far.
yeah, definitely bad time. All in all, it was a bad game, and we we just didn't give the type of effort we needed to in order to win the game.
Yeah. I totally agree.
So you get that game out of the way, and then you're thinking to yourself, "Oh boy, okay, now we got to play the Houston Rockets, who have lost 13 games in a row." So you know that no matter who they're playing, they want to win. I
Right.
mean, nobody wants to lose 13 in a row, right? So they're coming into the building. We're like, "Oh gosh, what's gonna happen?" So they finally get into the building, and we start struggling with the Houston Rockets. We have a terrible first quarter. This
Yeah.
first quarter was garbanzo, folks. I mean,
The-
trash
these highlights
bags.
don't these highlights that we are showing don't do justice to how poorly we played in the first quarter.
No, 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 no. This is like the best of the worst right here, folks. Don't let this fool you. It was a
Yeah.
bad first quarter. Oh man, it was bad.
Yeah.
Um, and just the fact that they're playing the Houston Rockets. And the funny thing that I saw in this game, John, because I don't watch the Houston Rockets, nor why would I?
Right.
They're a bad team, man. So just watching them, and I'm like, why are we in this game? Why is this game so close? This is a
Yeah.
bad team. I don't know what did you think when you saw this game?
Exactly that. I mean, I had a feeling that because I don't watch them either, but because of the youth on that team, I think the only veteran they really have is Eric Gordon, right? It's about probably the guy who with the most tenure in the NBA, and
Mm-hmm.
so just looking at the way the team is built, I was like, well, this is going to be interesting because they're athletic. They got some players on that team that sort of are high octane, can jump out the gym and got some talent, but they aren't gonna like protect the ball. You know what I mean? And you notice with all of those during the game, you actually noticed it more that those turnovers were at rapid pace. But it seemed like we were kind of also sharing that because we were also turning over the ball, and we were playing sloppy. We was playing, down to our opposition, as some would say, and we sort of looked at that team and said, "Hey, we played just like you guys," and kind of showed
Right.
that we're sort of bottom of the barrel as well, and it doesn't give us any hope to see us losing at some points of this game, because we were down, at points of this game, and it wasn't until like I want to say late third quarter, maybe early fourth quarter, where we started to take over the lead. So yeah, it was. There were some points of it. It was like I was even on with a few of our post game shows or live shows, and I was like in my head, I was also chatting like, "Hey, are we a 500 team? Are we that? Are we really that? Because it doesn't seem like we're gonna do anything that's gonna help us get over the hump at this point." And then part of me was like, did Tibbs lose? Did Tibbs lose the team? Like, did we?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, just the faith in the team is gone because at some point you got to question like what's going on. Why is the
Right.
offense playing so poorly? Plus, the defense wasn't up to par at all. So those were the questions that came to me. You know.
No, I'm right with you, man. I was looking at this game. I'm like, this was such a hard game for me to watch. It was so bad that listen, I was curled. I was right here, sitting down. I was curled up in a fetal position, and I was kind of like this. I was looking at the game, but the bad play I was looking at, I was like, I don't really want to see it, but I gotta watch it. Yeah, it was horrible, man. It was just bad. That fourth quarter gave me so much. What's the that agina? The
Arjun.
Italian
Yeah,
word for like heartburn.
exactly.
I had so much agina. I was like, come
For
on,
real.
man. I was getting tight. I was
I
getting tight.
listen. If it wasn't for Burks, man, I mean, geez, like we would have lost this game. You know, thank God that Burks, had his game going and was able to put together a nice little scoring streak. Of course, there were some other players that scored. And I think Fournier had a pretty decent game, but and Quick had a decent game, but it just seemed like if it wasn't if it wasn't for us having Burks available and being able to pick up the tempo defensively, I don't think we win this game because it really started
Yeah,
with him on
no,
the defensive end. I think he got like
yeah, we
four
don't win this
steals
game.
in the fourth,
5.
five in the
He
fourth.
had 5.
Look at that.
Well, no, four
Yeah,
in the fourth, but he had 5 in total.
yeah,
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
and
I
it,
mean,
it
come
just
on,
it
man.
started with him, bro.
And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know. It was either 17 or 19. Don't get me wrong, but I think it was 17. I think he scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
had
had that
six
heat check
threes
too.
in total. Yeah.
He had that
Yeah.
heat check right
I
there.
mean, if we didn't have Burks, we would have lost this game, and that
Yeah,
just would have been just ridiculously disrespectful. That would have been
yeah,
horrible.
but it's funny because it's like we've leaned so much on Randall, this past year, I want to say, and with these new with the two new pieces, you would think that this would make it easier for him, but for whatever reason, it's becoming a sort of a chore to get the other players involved in the game. Where
Right.
you would assume that with Fournier's skill set and Kemba's skill set, that things would move more fluidly. And we've
Mm-hmm.
seen it. We seen what it could be in the preseason. We just haven't seen that same consistency throughout this season. If they play that first preseason game, right? Or if they play these games in the season like they did that first preseason game, we would see a different team right now. But for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason, it isn't clicking. It's like they're in each other's way. They aren't spacing the floor correctly. Everyone keeps talking about Mitch is clogging the middle, but I don't ever see Mitch clogging the middle. I see Randall taking way too much time to get started. In my opinion, he could just get the ball on the post, turn into your defender, face up to him, and make a move to the
Mm-hmm.
basket. You either make a move to the basket, hit him with a pump fake, and then go up, or hit your fadeaway shot. I mean, I'd rather you hit a fadeaway shot and you're facing your defender versus having your back to the defender and then trying your fadeaway. Because, you have to be able to make shots close. It almost seems like he's forcing it up and he's against the shot clock, or he's making other players on our team shoot against the shot clock, which isn't beneficial to anyone
Right.
to be up
Right.
against it. So it just seems he's super in between, the thought process. Maybe they're in their minds a little bit too much. They're overthinking it. I see a lot of overpassing, and it's like, guys, shoot the shot. You're open. Quickly did it too in yesterday's game. It's like, dude, you were wide open. Why are you passing it back out to Randall? Shoot the rock. It's one of those weird things where everybody's in between.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're so in their heads. Like all of them just thinking too much. They're all thinking. Like, what is going on? RJ is so lost right now. He's thinking so much. Like they're just not playing. They're not having fun out there. They're too tight. They're too tense. It's the only person that I could say probably is starting to come alive is Randall, and he's not thinking as much as he was before. I think he's starting to realize, like, hey, man, I got to play my game. It is what it is. I did good last year for a reason. So, but yeah, this game was tough. It's great that Burks did what he did in the fourth quarter and he lit the spark for us. But he had some big shots. His steals were huge, which, I think the Knicks played really good defense in this game, but the defense is kind of with an asterisk because Houston was horrible. So it was like, here,
they did it to
it's like that old commercial. Here, take my money.
Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
It is what it is.
That is exactly
it. But we got the victory. It wasn't pretty, but you know what I did think? I knew that we got Chicago coming in the next game, right? And I also knew that the next 5 to 10 games are all going to be tougher competition, like legitimate, contenders or playoff type teams. So I said, I think the Knicks are going to start playing better, much better against these type of teams. I think they have to because they're forced to really, dig in. If not, they're going to get blown out and embarrassed. So it's like it forces you to play better. So, I mean, then the next game we got was against the Chicago Bulls. And, the last time we played the Bulls, we beat them in Chicago. And this is their revenge game, which is funny that we played them again back-to-back in Chicago. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And
they got another opportunity to redeem themselves.
Yeah, and honestly, the Knicks started off really sloppy in this game too. I mean, really sloppy. This first quarter started off sloppy for both teams, actually. There was a lot of turnovers. A lot of bad Julius tried to throw the ball through somebody's chest. Like, I don't it was just crazy. It was
bullet
crazy.
Passes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
These guys throw BBs, man.
He almost hurt Kimba a couple of times there. But I think overall though we played up to our competition this game. I think we put together at least 3 quarters of good basketball. The first quarter was kind of crappy, but I think overall, they played a really competitive game. And we had moments. We had opportunities. We just didn't come through with big shots when we had those opportunities. And again, some of it had to do with overpassing. And like that right there was horrible defense in the first. But it's one of those things. It's like, growing pains. You start to see a team for a second, third time. You start to know where they like to shoot the ball from. So overall, I think they had an idea of how to, face this team, and go up against the Chicago Bulls. But there are some players on that team that, could surprise you. You leave them open a little too much and you give them an open shot, they'll knock them down. I think Chicago has, got a nice team over there. But, and Caruso's played really good defense. And the referees play a part in it too because of how they're allowing the game to be played this year, which is weird. I mean, we've all asked for the game to be more physical. I think everyone has. And I think now that they're allowing it, it just seems weird because the players aren't used to it or ready for it. So they're looking for the foul call before they even put up the shot. So everyone's sort of confused. And it looks weird. It just seems weird now. Where back in the day, you would just expect people to get hit. Yeah.
It's really funky, and it's okay if you're gonna say, listen, we're gonna give guys a little bit more leeway to play physical. We're not gonna call these ticky-tack fouls, but that has to be the game plan for the whole game. You can't. This happened one quarter, no foul calls. The second quarter, everything was getting called. The third quarter, no foul calls. The fourth quarter, everything's getting called. Like, what are you guys doing? It's
Yeah,
crazy, man. Like, you got to be consistent. That's
yeah,
bad. Like, that's one
super
thing.
inconsistent.
Players can respect consistency. They may not
Right,
agree with what you,
right,
but that gives them a chance to adjust. Oh, you're not going to call it? Okay, well, when we come back down on the other side of the court, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do my thing because you ain't gonna call
right.
it, right? So that's what you expect. That's how you
But they
adjust.
end up calling it right. But they end up calling the ticky tack fouls on individuals, especially the Knicks, which is weird. It's like, dude, we didn't get two calls down the other end, and now you're calling a slap on the wrist. Really? So it just
Yeah,
seems
it's
weird.
just
It seems odd.
it's nuts. It's
Or
nuts. I don't even
even the one
understand.
with even the play with Randall when he ran over Caruso, but he didn't even run him over. Caruso just fell and
Mm,
flopped in front of him.
right,
And it's like, wait,
right.
isn't that a reviewable play when a player, throws himself down because you just nudged him? Like, that's supposed to be reviewable.
Yeah,
And they never reviewed it. They just called the offensive foul. And it's like, damn, like you just called, you just did a few non-calls. You know what I mean? And now you call it. It's just a super weird time with referees and how they're calling the games. This has been happening a
yeah.
lot though for the Knicks.
No, it has. And the flip side of it, which is weird too, is that they're calling it this way. And then you get a situation where the Knicks caught a break because uh,
Hmm.
um, Kemba Walker got a charge, like
Right,
really outside of the
I'm
paint. It
moving.
was,
Right,
positioning was fine. It wasn't like, it was kind of a little bit of a flop, but they gave it to the
yeah,
Knicks. It's kind of like, I'm still
right,
mad that it's not consistent, but I got to take it when you give it to me, Hey, all
yeah.
right.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing because it's like, man, you take it away, but when you give it, then you take it away. It's one of those weird ways of refereeing a game. And
Yeah,
not to
yeah,
mention, there was a lot of injuries, like little weird injury. Like, I think Mitch got hit in the nose or in the face or something. And it's like,
yeah, yeah.
it's a couple of weird ones. You know, uh,
Yeah,
didn't Kemba
it
get
was a
run
wild
over?
game.
It was
Kimba
he
did
got
get run
landed
over,
on,
and then
right?
I think, yeah, the dude landed his whole body on Kimba's leg, and like,
Yeah,
uh,
it was wild.
not what I want to see.
It was a
Yeah,
wild
it
game.
was. It was. Yeah,
We
I
were
don't know, man.
competitive
This
though, and
this is
Randall
tough.
played well, which is a good takeaway. At least when you look at it, I think we played again. I believe 3/4 of solid basketball, and Randall, played well for the most part. We just got to get RJ's got to be able to get out this shooting slump, man. Because I think he had a
Hmm.
ton of rebounds, but shot again very poor from the field.
Very poor. I don't know what's going on with him. I think it's all mental. It's like he's definitely thinking too much. One thing I
Mhm.
noticed about RJ, which I mean, say what you will about all the improvements he's made and all the different things he's worked on each year to get better, but for whatever reason, he seems to be regressing back into old habits.
Mhm.
He shot a layup air ball. What?
Yeah,
What? Come on, son. He shot a
right.
layup air ball. Come on, man. Like, you can't do that, RJ. And then he doesn't adjust either. The defense
Right,
said, because the Bulls are a smart defensive team, and the Knicks don't do anything spectacular. Even Randall has things that he does that people know what's coming. It's just, it's Randall. Sometimes you can know what's coming, but it's hard to stop, right? But
right.
they were getting to their spots, trying to take away what they like. And for RJ, it's easy. He goes to the basket a certain way, and he always extends a certain way. His layups a certain way. So they just decided to try to take that away from him. But what I'm saying about RJ is that he doesn't make an adjustment. He doesn't say, you know what? Oh, this time when I go to the basket, I'm gonna go up real quick. I'm gonna pump fake you, and then I'm gonna come up under on the other side or something. He's got to do something different in order to throw them
Yep.
off and have a chance of getting the bucket. I mean, his
Yeah.
layup game, it was horrible, dude. I was like, yo, in 2K, you definitely got to get the Kyrie package, man, because your layup package is trash. Like, I'm like, what's going on? Come
Yeah,
on,
there's not
man.
enough versatility. It definitely is not enough versatility in in Randall's game, and not only Randall's game, but also RJ's game, where you see that they're developing and they're getting better as the years go on, but you aren't being versatile in your skill set, right? Like if you're strong at one thing, you have to add to that, to create you that sort of versatility and that nuance to a game, like um, just knowing where to get your best shot from. You know what I mean? It doesn't. Oh, you don't always have to go left. You don't always. You know what I mean? You could switch it up on people. You can use your up and unders. You can use. There's so many different tools you can use as a player that And when you don't utilize those, what you've been practicing, you sort of look one dimensional. And that's what we're looking like. We're looking like a one dimensional offensive team. Even when you look at the way Fournier is being used, he's looking one dimensional when you know what he brought to his team in Spain. So it isn't like he doesn't have the ability. You've seen it. You've seen it in the world class, games, in the Olympic games. So he's capable. It's just how they're using them and sort of what schemes they're using him with. Now, I would say this. Yesterday's game, you started seeing a little bit more of a scheme when it came with, sort of a duo between Kemba and Randall. And you also seen, you've seen them trying to get Fournier going and using them in spots and picking pops and stuff. So that's something to look forward to in the coming days, because I think that's going to help. And then we just got to wait and see if RJ can get out of the slump. Because if he doesn't, Burks is going to have to take some of those minutes. So, sorry to say though, but it's just going to be that.
Right. I mean, what did you think, about how aggressive Kemba was being? Like, he was much more aggressive than I've ever seen him.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I mean, but that's all you're going to get from him, right? I mean, we talked about this. He's sort of going to be your pick and roll type of player, and you just got to be able to give him a lane to pass the ball to you. And if you're not moving while he's in the middle of his pick and roll and you're just standing there watching, guess what? He ain't going to be able to get you the ball, and he's only going to have one or two options. You got to give the guy an option to get the ball to you. So you have to keep moving around if you're, at the 3-point line. And that's sort of practice, in motion offense or pick and roll of any kind, or if you do flex, when you talk about offensive flex packages, you still have to move. Everything is around, surrounds itself around movement and player movement. And there really isn't an offense where people are just standing around waiting, So I just don't understand why some of the Knicks players are sort of stuck watching. From time to time, you'll see them just waiting for the ball to be, and it's like, you ain't moving. You can't they can't get you the ball because they don't have a path to get you the ball, So
Right.
frustrating,
Man.
bro.
It's
But
they're definitely frustrating. That was a tough loss, weird because overall, I thought that they played much better in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. I
yeah,
was happy with the fact that they played so horribly in the first half, yet they were only down 6 going into the half with all the turnovers and everything. I mean,
yeah.
Julius threw the ball to Casper at one point, the friendly
Right,
ghost, because there was nobody there.
right.
So, like, you know, I was feeling good about that, but in the
But
end,
second quarter, it seems like they played a little better defense in the second quarter to help
they
it.
did, they did,
You know,
they did, and that goes back to my whole thing. Like, the Bulls and the Knicks match up pretty well,
right?
only because of the fact that we have a good bench. Because
Mm-hmm.
obviously their starting lineup and our starting lineup, they don't really match up that well. But when we get the whole rotation going and it's ins and outs, then you start to see, like, as a team, as two teams, they match up really well. So the games can go either way as long as both teams are playing good basketball,
Right.
which we haven't seen since the first game that they played. But it is what it is, man. It was a loss. I think the Knicks played better down the stretch. They had a chance to win, but when you play good teams, you got to get as close as possible, or you got to have a lead when you're going down the stretch, because those good teams usually have players that have go-to moves, or they're really good at knocking down pressurized shots. You know what I mean? Like DeMar
Yeah.
DeRozan is a bucket. That 2-point shot that
Oh
he's
yeah.
got, that's
Oh yeah.
tough to
Mid
stop.
range.
Forget it. Even
Yeah.
even
His mid
Levine
range
has
game
a
is
pretty
slick.
good shot when it comes to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Absolutely, and I
it is.
also think Levine was more aggressive, this game than he was the game previous, and
Hmm.
he sort of made up for his lack and will, in our first game against them. So there were moments in time where he settled for a jump shot, where in the first game that they lost, and this time around he went to the basket. But again, it goes to show you when you don't have rim presence. I think Noel was in foul trouble most of this game. And Mitch was out, and so was Taj. We didn't have any rim presence, right? Defensive presence, and so it
Right.
allowed for Levine to really be comfortable going to the basket. And I think if we see them with a full squad, I think it's going to be different because, rim protection is big, man. If you have somebody there protecting the rim, not allowing those easy layups or make it a little difficult so they have to make adjustments while they're in the air, it'll help us. It'll benefit us. We just got to get healthy. Our center's got to be consistently healthy, I want to say, and be able to play, the majority of their minutes. But right now we're not we're running short of that right now. So
Yeah, I mean, I know it's tough to do because you don't want to, give up on your starters or some of your players. But I would have really liked Thibodeau. He used Jericho because Nerlens was in foul trouble and he had no
right.
Taj and no Mitchell. But I would have really liked to see Quentin Grimes in there for more than 17 seconds. I thought
Yeah, that's crazy.
when, Kobe White came into the game,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would have been nice for Quentin Grimes to be able to guard Kobe White, because he runs around. Let Quentin Grimes
Mm-hmm.
run around with him, play some defense on him. And also, listen, the fact that RJ was struggling so bad on offense, maybe getting Quentin and it gives you 2 or 3 threes, depending on how long he plays. It's like 6
Right.
points or whatever that can help you towards getting back into the game when you're getting nothing from RJ. I'm not saying keep him in there forever because RJ did do some good things on Zach LaVine. He also had 15 rebounds, so he
Mm-hmm.
was a factor. He just wasn't what we needed necessarily to get the victory. But hey, man, it's a loss. It's okay. We got the
Yeah.
Lakers coming up next, so that's another thing to think about. But
Yeah.
that's what happened, guys. That's what happened. We didn't think we were going to play that bad, that poorly, but it turned out to be that's the case. So bringing
Right.
that up, it makes me think how were our predictions going into this week? Because it was last week. Who remembers this stuff? You know what I mean?
That's true. It's sort of my favorite segment of the, that we got. So
Oh, hello. Yes.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
what's going on,
Good.
Jose?
Good.
Long time no speak to y'all.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. One of you isn't doing
Wait.
well. So
So you saying one of us is doing better than the other?
yeah. But listen, I know it's time for your favorite segment to see who is the king of predictions for the
It's
week.
definitely mine.
Each of you predicted whether the Knicks were going to win or lose these past 3 games. And, just to throw it out there, I did ask both of you to reconsider some of your choices because I did say that it was going to be a back-to-back game for the Knicks, from Saturday to Sunday. There was no break, just that 10-hour difference, whatever the difference is.
You did say that.
Yeah, you did say that. I remember. I recall. Just
Are
put
you
it
ready?
right there. No, the other way. Put it
Are
right
you
there.
ready?
I'm ready.
think
Let's
so.
see.
Put it right there. Put it right there. Bam!
For the 4th week in a row.
Fifth.
Fifth. Oh yeah, fifth. John is the king of predictions.
I don't want to keep reminding you, Ron. I'm sorry, but yeah. It's 5 weeks.
Ron. I'm so sorry. You know, I was really rooting for you. I really wanted you to win this week. Unfortunately, your predictions were not the best. And mind you, there was a plot twist. John did change his predictions at the very last minute. The game that actually won him the prediction, which was he predicted originally that the Knicks were going to win against the Bulls. At the very last minute, he changed it that they were going to lose. And unfortunately, I mean, you guys just finished talking about it. That's what happened. But guess what? There's always next week.
Oh, nice.
That is true. That is true. But you know what? That's okay. He can win. He can win. But you know what? It ain't Ralph, though. It ain't Ralph.
Who would like to do the prediction first?
Ooh, we got Lakers versus Knicks. Suns versus Knicks. Knicks versus Hawks. Wow. This is a tough one.
I think it's my turn because he went last week. He went first last week. So, all right, Lakers versus Knicks. LeBron is suspended for this game because he did some real punk stuff yesterday. I'm gonna go with the Knicks. But hold on, before we get to this, guys, because listen, I don't feel like we could just move on and gloss over that fact. We don't see this too often.
Yeah,
LeBron did some real crazy stuff yesterday. You know what I mean? Do I think that he meant to do it on purpose? No. Do I think that he meant to bust Mr. What's his name now? No, I forgot.
Isaiah Stewart.
Did he mean to bust his face open? No, of course not. But that's what happens when you do that stupid stuff. You know, he's not the first player to do that. We see it in the league a lot. Guys are fighting for rebounds or positioning, and then they swing their arm back. And you know what? There's going to be a chance where one day you connect. And yesterday was that day for LeBron, okay? And then he had to deal with it. I did think that Isaiah Stewart was a madman, but I understand because he actually was sort of calm for a moment. He was upset, but until he started seeing the blood streaming down his face, that's when he lost it. What did you think about that, John?
I think it would had LeBron handled that better, it would have not gotten to where it got. As soon as he made contact and didn't mean to make contact, he should have automatically walked up to him, held him, hugged him, whatever, and just say, hey, my bad, I didn't mean it. You know what I mean? Like, because it didn't seem like he meant it. I think he meant it for the sake of, hey, you holding on to me a little tight. I mean, the kid, he's a strong kid, you know what I mean? And maybe he felt like he was roughing him up. And so he did the swing and he happened to connect. At that point, if you didn't mean it, run up to the kid, say, look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You know what I mean? Like, even if he tries to get a little extra, you know what I mean, or out of control, at the very least you do is you apologize while you're on the court. You know what I mean? You let him know, look, I didn't mean to. Like, that was a mistake. You know what I mean? But he didn't do it. He didn't handle that himself correctly at that moment. And so for me, you know, you lose. I don't know. It was distasteful, in my opinion. Yeah. You know, it sort of seems as if he meant it and didn't care, and that's unfortunate because he didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve, that sort of action. It could have caused the malice of the palace all over again.
It definitely could have. It could have been crazy. Could have been crazy out there. Let me tell you, I agree with you. I think as soon as it happened, if he didn't mean it like that, he should have went right up to the guy. Or even if you hear him chirping, try to get close to him. Like, look, I'm sorry, I apologize, and even call the medic guy over. Like, show that you're concerned about this guy, because
Right.
once he started leaking, it looked bad. I mean, I don't know, if I did something like that, I would be trying to apologize. But I don't know what happened, because there's speculation. Because the speculation was that LeBron didn't necessarily come out in the way that you would expect him to come out. I don't know if he said anything.
Right.
I would love to know if he did, but yeah, I
Right.
don't know.
And that's probably what got him riled up, right?
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
get hit in the face, you were expecting like some sort of apology or some sort of remorse, and if you don't get that, then word, you like it's like that. All right, so you mean business, so let's handle our business, and that
And
for me seemed right.
yeah, and once you start seeing your own blood, when you see your blood, you start leaking, that's it, it's on. We got to go
Yeah,
now, buddy.
yeah. Well, listen, it gets to that level, sometimes you can't really take that back, and they're gonna see each other again, so that's what's interesting.
Yes, they
Wondering
are.
if they're
Yeah.
gonna keep that suspension on for that one more day, that one game, because they're scheduled to see each other
Some
again.
Well, we'll see. There's something about Detroit, man. We gotta keep
Mm.
it neutral over there. But anyway, all right. I just had to touch on that, guys, because listen, it's the NBA. We're fans, and then certain things like that, you got to look at it like, what if that happened to one of our Knicks players? Like, can't
Yeah.
have that. You can't have that.
Well, this is the interesting, and
So back.
I'll give you a little hint here with the Lakers versus Knicks. Melo went off to help them win that
Oh
game.
yeah. Oh no. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Just
I'm.
FYI.
Yeah. 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 Melo's gonna cook Randall. Don't worry about it. Sautéed, stir fried, barbecue sauce. Guys like to say barbecue chicken. Yeah, it's barbecue chicken for Melo against Randall. You watch. All right. So Lakers versus Knicks. Even though that being said, I think Melo's going to go off. I think Anthony Davis is going to have a good game. I think the Knicks are going to win this game. I don't know why, but I feel like the Knicks are going to come out. This is a big game for them. Randall's going to be pumped up because he's playing against his mentor. Melo has taught him a lot of things. I expect the Knicks to play well. I don't expect their shooting. Something's got to give. You can't shoot horribly every game you go out there. One day you're going to be hot. So I'm expecting this to be that game. So I think the Lakers will lose to the Knicks. I think the Suns and the Knicks, the Suns are going to win that game. And Knicks versus Hawks. I think this is a revenge game for the Knicks because this has been on their mind since last year. So I'm thinking the Knicks win this one.
Wow. Are you locking that in? Or should I wait? Let me pick mine first.
No, you know what? I think yeah, man. I think we're giving a little too much time here to lock this stuff in. You know what? Lock it in, Jose.
Just to confirm, are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm not the Indian giver. I'm not the take backseat guy. I make my picks and I stay with my picks.
I see how well you've done in the last 5 weeks.
Oh, wow. Yo, okay. That's cool. That was fast. You came up with that really quickly. It was almost like 24 seconds ago. Huh? 24 seconds ago? Huh?
Disrespectful. Lakers versus Knicks. This is a tough one for me because you got the Lakers at 9-8 and 9-9 right now, right? They're playing 500 ball and we're 9-8. Sort of having the same troubles where we're coming out of the third quarter not shooting the ball well, and the Lakers are running into the same issue. I think with them not having LeBron on the court will help us to some degree, but they still hella talented. I just, Mitchell Robinson is out due to a concussion protocol, and I think that's going to affect us. So I'm going to take the loss here. I really am. I'm going to take the loss to the Lakers. And this is like the day before Thanksgiving, right? So it's sort of a big game. It's a national game, right?
Well, it's the day
Nationally
before
televised
Thanksgiving
game.
Eve.
Yeah, it's is it TNT or
Yes,
something like that?
yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say we get that. We take this loss. And then we go see the Suns. And it's hard to run against the Suns here. They shoot the ball really well, so I'm going to go with a loss here. And then I hope we get this win. I really do hope to get this win. So I'm not going to go with a loss here. So I'm going with the W against the Hawks. Just because I think they'll be up for this game. I hope they'll be up for this game, and I hope this won't be a letdown game. The Hawks aren't playing the same type of basketball we seen last year. They're also
Right.
sort of not playing well either. But I'm hoping our defense really, holds true, and then we can lock down Trey for a little bit of time and get that win. So I'm going for that win at the end of actually to start the road trip, right? Yeah, to start the road trip,
Yep.
because I think we're coming off of home games and we're going to the road. So
Yep.
yeah, let's see if we get the away game win against the Hawks, and I'm going to lock that in.
Are you sure?
Absolutely positive.
All right, gentlemen. These are your predictions for the week. It's always a pleasure. I shall see my way out of here. Take care.
Thank you, Jose.
Later, Jose. He slammed the door on us.
Yeah, he's like, yo, peace.
I'm out of here.
Well, look, man, I know I agree with you that the Laker game may be interesting, but you know what? Another thing that that I was thinking about too is this is a home game for the Knicks. You know what?
Right.
They're gonna be excited, and we unveiling the City Edition black jerseys. We gonna come out for business, baby. The black joints is coming out tomorrow.
They're gonna be tough. I mean, we're gonna look good. Can we play good? That's the question. Right now, we're sort of in between, right? We can't call it. Like if we, to be honest with you, Ron, if we would have went 2-1 or 3-0 out of that last series last week, I would have said yes, we get this game against the Lakers, and I think we'll play formidable against the Suns. So I would have been 50-50 against the Suns, but nah, man, we just haven't been playing consistent enough to like really look at this team as more than a 500 team. I think that's what we are right now.
Right.
I mean, until they show us different, they're a 500 team, and we got to stay above that 500 mark to make a run. And we did this last year. Remember, we were kind of in that balance all of last year. We were sort of under 500 for a little bit of time. Then we got to 500, went under 500, got to 500, and then we got fat towards the second half of the season. So maybe we didn't do that much of a leap and bound from what we were last year. And maybe this is where we're at. We're going to be around, 6 to 7, 7 to 8 seed, moving forward. Unless the offense turns it around and figures it out. That starting unit has to figure it out in order for us to get over that hump. So
yeah,
that's what I'm looking at.
We're gonna have to figure something out. We're gonna have to figure something out, man, until the move gets made. Because for whatever reason, I just have a feeling that a move will get made. Not that it may be a big move, but I think something's gonna happen.
December. What is it? The 13th or something like that.
15th.
The deadline. 15th.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the it's the day when some of those contracts can be moved, but that doesn't mean that it's going to happen right then and there. It can happen anytime, you know what I mean? But after, but we'll see. Yeah, after, man. Well,
13th or 15th.
Yeah. Once again, this was a really good show. I always have a good time chopping it up with my homie. my brother John, and also, you know, chilling with my man Jose on the ones and twos.
Yes, sir. Like that.
Yeah, man. And then it was really cool to introduce a new segment idea for you guys. Like I said, we'll clean it up and we'll, you know, bring a little something, a little more flavor to it, you know, going forward. But it's just nice to introduce it to you guys, see what you guys think about it. Feel free to comment, you know, in the comments, and let us know what
You got
think.
me. You got
know,
me with that one.
obviously.
You got me. You got me with that. You got me.
That's what we
I
want,
love
man.
you.
We gotta
throw me under the bus, right? And just utilize me as the, you know, guinea pig here.
listen. You're on that totem pole right now. I gotta knock you down a couple pegs, B. Gotta get you down off that totem pole, bro. it's bad for me out here in these streets, man. I can't listen. I got people coming up. Yo, you lost to John again this week? Nah, I can't have that. Can't have that.
Hey, you winning, man. You are the creator
Yeah.
of this show. You already winning.
Nah, B.
Let me
Nah.
get a
That's
crumb or two.
nah. No moral victories, B. I'm a Knicks fan. I get enough of that.
That's funny, man.
Anyway, man. Listen, it's always a pleasure. You got any final words?
Oh man, just love and respect, man, and appreciate everybody for tuning in, and you know, like always, share, and you know, tune in, man, tune in. We have great content. We're trying to give you more and more as the weeks go on, and just appreciate everybody's support.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Definitely, as John said, man. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all you guys. Once again, if I haven't said it enough, this show is pre-recorded, guys. Right, so it's going to drop at some point tomorrow. You know, obviously, it'll be before the Laker game. I would think I'm not going to drop it while the Lakers are playing, so you guys can watch the Lakers and Knicks comfortably. But definitely understand that it's pre-recorded. We appreciate the love and support. So definitely get in the chat, make your comments. I'll be in the comments. Maybe John will be in the comments. Who knows? So definitely look forward to that. You know, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. You know what? We're gonna keep growing. You know, get them subscribers up, man. We need you guys, man. We want to keep getting more to the Nick fan base, you know, on our end too. We want to support and grow everything. This whole Nick community's got to keep getting bigger. So thank you once again. And little quick notification. I already mentioned this on Nothing But Knicks, but there will be no NBA report on the NBK network this week. You know, Thanksgiving is Thursday, so we're gonna put it off for 1 week and get back to you guys next week. So definitely stay tuned and look forward to that. We appreciate all the love and support. Things have been going great with that. And thank you once again to Sim, the Podfather, for allowing us to be on the network. Things are looking great, and we definitely love the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. We out of here. Y'all take it easy. Have a great gobble gobble day. Enjoy yourselves. Love and eat a lot of turkey. Get all fat out there, man. Watch some football. You know, and you know, enjoy yourselves. This is when we do it, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Peace.
man. So all right, take care, y'all.